We have some breaking news to tell you about a deadly church van crash involving a local youth group. The crash happened just north of Bolivar, Missouri on Highway 13. We learned it was a bus carrying a youth group from an Overland Park church. 3 teenagers were killed. Some victims are being taken to Springfield for treatment. The Now KC's Mackenzie Nelson is live at Faith Chapel Assembly of God. What have you learned today, Mackenzie?
Well, Krista, this morning a funeral was actually going on inside this church behind me here in Overland Park, and that's when the 2 pastors of this church first got word of the terrible crash. Van carrying youth pastors as well as youth members of the youth group here at this church. They were on their way to a canoe trip this weekend when their van crashed in Missouri. Now, we have learned that a 17-year-old girl from Stillwell, Kansas, a 16-year-old boy from Olathe, and a 14-year-old girl from Lewisburg have died. The Missouri Highway Patrol says the van they were in was headed south on Missouri Highway 13, just 5 miles north of Bolivar, Missouri, when it ran off the road, overturned, and then hit a tree. We know it was a 15-passenger van carrying 13 people from all 3 church campuses of Faith Chapel Assembly of God. That includes Overland Park, Gardner, and Lewisburg, so 3 communities impacted by this. Now, 11 of those passengers on board were kids. Now, Bob and Sandra Cave are the pastors of this church. I've spoke with them several times over the phone this afternoon, and they told me they are currently headed to Bolivar to the hospital because several other people that were in the van are undergoing some surgery right now or being treated for injuries. From Bolivar, they are then headed to Springfield. Live in Overland Park, Mackenzie Nelson for the Now KC.